Kristin. So this is my follow-up video to my favorite face brushes. This is going to be a video about my favorite eye brushes. And I just want to say right off the bat that I know that I have lots of different brushes. I know there are lots of brushes out there from, you know, e.l.f., Sedona, Sigma, MAC, whatever. These are just my favorite brushes. So definitely leave for other people, you know, your favorite brushes down in the comments so that other people can see what you're loving. These are just the ones that I'm loving. So I'm going to split this up into two categories, so to speak. The first category is going to be the brushes that I use every single day. The ones that if I had to quick grab and go travel with, these are the ones that I would grab. And then I'm going to do a category, I'm looking as if you can see, they're over here. I'm going to do the second part of this video will be kind of the nice to have brushes. And as I go along, I will also talk about what I use them for. So, all right, here we go. The first brush that I want to talk about is a brush that I use to lay down my lid shade. This is hands down my favorite, like I call it a lay down brush. I don't actually know what normal people call it, but this is the MAC 239. You can see how thin that is. I love this brush so much. I have 3 of them now, and for some reason, this brush just picks up the pigment so very well and lays it down and smooths it out. I have tried a bunch from, you know, the e.l.f. to Chanel, and this is the one that I found that I like the best. The next lay flat brush that I like, and this is a little bit newer to my collection, but is fast becoming one of my favorites, especially when I'm doing inner third. It's a little bit smaller. This is the Sony Keshik number 106 brush. And I like these brushes. I don't have a ton of them, but I like them. So you can see it's just a little bit smaller in width than the 239. Gets the same job done. You certainly could use just this to this, but I just wanted to mention both of those. I do really like those. And I tend to use the MAC 239 for powder products. I don't use it for any creams or anything like that. And I wanted to talk about this. I've had a lot of questions over the past couple of years about why I use this brush and not the 239 for certain applications. So this is the MAC 242. Very similar, though this one is synthetic and this one is natural hair. I like this for the L'Oreal Infallibles, for the Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill shadows, for the Chanel Illusion d'Ombres. I like this for those kind of cream products or moussey kind of textured products. I find that it picks up the pigment much better for that and just lays it down better. There's something about this being a synthetic brush that I find works better than the 239 for those sort of products. So somebody asked me why in my tutorial with the BareMinerals High Shine pigments, which are these pigments, why I used my 239 versus my 242. And this is a powder product, it's not a cream product. So I just find that it works best to smooth out the pigment once it's been placed on my eye. I'll link that below if you want to see that in action. Okay, so hopefully that covers the lay down, the lay down shadow brushes. Okay, so I'm going through these kind of in the order that I normally use them. So the next brush that I reach for is a brush that I would use for my transition color. And I have 2 favorites. I like them equally as well. One is easier to get than the other one for those of you in the States. And that is the Sephora Pro Tapered Crease Brush. It is the number 19. You can see it comes to a little bit of a point there. And this works really well for just taking that transition shade and I do have a Topic Tuesday on transition shades from back in the day that I'll try to remember to link below. Was it my best work? But it was, I think it was helpful nonetheless. At any rate, I should probably update it. At any rate, this just really is nice to transition up from that lid shade up to the brow bone and, you know, kind of soften out the line and add in that transition color. The other brush that I like for that is the Quo crease brush. This was kind of my first love with the tapered crease brush. Quo is only sold in Canada, to my knowledge, and I think that is correct still. Does the same thing, it's just easier for those of you in Canada to find, but you can see they are very similar. This one is just, the Quo one is cut down a little bit more, but they serve the same purpose and function. So I really like that. If you are looking, another brush that will kind of do that, but isn't my favorite anymore since I found these. It used to be my favorite. And for me, it's my Sigma, I think it's the E35. Yes, E35. I like this better than my MAC one. My MAC one is actually dirty because I used it today because I was trying to keep the other ones clean. But the Sigma one just has a little more oomph to it. This is a kind of a tapered crease brush, and you can see that there's more in the there's more brush hairs in the Sigma one. Now this is old, very, very old. I've had my Sigma one for a couple of years, so it could have changed. I just know what I currently have. My MAC one also is a few years old, but so I just wanted to quickly mention that if it's easier for you to access MAC, that's also a nice one for that. You just use a really light hand and blend it up. So the third brush that I use every single day is either the MAC 217 or the Sigma E25. They are, to me, the same brush. I have four from Sigma, either in the short version like this or in the normal version. And I have two MAC 217s. They are all the same. I can't tell the difference between the two. So I know some people have issues with that, but I really feel like this particular brush is exactly the same whether it's Sigma or MAC. This brush is indispensable for me. Once, I think it was on Beauty Broadcast Live, somebody asked what brush, if you got just one brush to do everything, what would it be? Hands down, it would be the MAC 217 or the Sigma E25. You can use this to lay down your shadow. You can use it, what I usually use it for, and you've probably seen me in tutorials before, is, can you see my eyes still red, by the way? Oh, these allergies. Anyway, I use it to kind of lay down shadow in my outer corner and bring it in, work it into the crease. I mean, you've seen everybody in the world use use this brush. I really find it to be indispensable in my makeup application. So of all of these brushes, if you're like, what's the one brush you think I should get? It's either the MAC 217 or the Sigma E25, whichever you're more comfortable purchasing. But you can lay down a shadow with this and blend it up. It's great for one shadow look. You can go under your brow bone with MAC Brulee or Blanc Type and blend things out there. It's indispensable. It's a great, 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 great brush. All right, the fourth brush that I use every single day, and I did just use this in that tutorial as well, and you've heard me talk about it a million times. This is the Sigma E21. I have no dupe for this. The Sigma E21 is the only brush that I've ever seen exactly like this. I have 3 of these, and I use one every single day to smudge out my liner on the top of my eyes. I don't enjoy on a regular basis using liquid liner or gel liner. What I like to use is a pencil liner and smudge it out and then, you know, use it up into my upper waterline. This brush, indispensable. Did I say that for 2 brushes now? It's great. Absolutely great. They've held up. I've washed those so many times. I've had them for over a year. The one I've had for over a year, the other ones I've had for less than that, but great, great brush. The 5th of my 6th everyday brushes is my MAC 228. This again is newer to my collection, but this has become my favorite brush to bring shadow down beneath my lash line as a liner. Generally I don't use pencil liner or gel liner or anything underneath my lash line. I really like this brush. It's small enough to do that and kind of smoke it out, but not get too big of a line. If you know what I'm saying, I don't need to be like smoky down to here for going to work. So I like it for that. The other thing that I like it for is that, and it cleans off very well. You can, you know, brush it off on your towel very well. Use it for inner corner. Really, really nice brush. So that is a brush that I use every single day. And then the final brush of the brushes that I use every single day is my Sigma E50. I know that there's like a MAC 227 that's the same thing. The one I have is the Sigma. I've had this one for probably 2.5 years. And I love this for my brow bone. I will take MAC Brulee. Lately I've been using Maybelline Linen, MAC Blanc Type, whatever, Wet n Wild Brulee, and just, you know, blend out my brow bone, add some color there, and it helps it also to blend that, to blend your transition color up into your brow bone. Again, use that every single day. So just to recap, the 6 brushes that I use every single day that I think are good brushes to kind of start with if you're just getting into brushes. It's the MAC 239, the Sigma Pro Tapered Crease Brush, the MAC 217 or Sigma E25, the Sigma E21, the MAC 228, and the Sigma E50. And I will list all of those below for you. Okay, let's talk about a couple of nice to have brushes. And I'm looking at my brushes. I have lots of brushes. I love makeup brushes. It's one of my favorite things about makeup. I don't know why, but I do. So a couple of brushes that I think are really nice to have. The first one is from Smashbox, and this is in the number 7. And I believe this is still available. Smashbox, sometimes it's tricky to find their brushes, but I will try to find something and list it below for you. So this is a little bit bigger, and let me grab the 239 here. You can see it's a little bit bigger than the 239, and it's fluffier. So what I like to use this brush for is when I'm going to just do like an all over lid shade, just one, and I want to do it very quickly, that's what I use this brush for. It's really nice, very soft. I've had this one for probably 3.5 years, something like that. Cleans up very well. I like it, so that's a nice. Okay, for laying down cream shadows, I like the Real Techniques brushes. And I'm not picky, honestly, even though they are very different. I'm not picky about which one of these that I like. This is the base shadow brush, and this is the domed shadow brush. They are synthetic, so I really like them for using with cream products. So if I'm going to use like my Smashbox Cream Shadow and Icon, or MAC Constructivist, or something like that I want to lay down as a base, I really like these brushes for that, and they clean up very well. And all right, let's talk about a couple of larger crease brushes. What you like for your crease color is going to depend a little bit on your eye shape and eye size. These ones are a little bit bigger, but I like them to, if I'm going to do, say, just a cream color all over the lid and just a really kind of blown out crease. My favorite is the Smashbox number 10 brush. It's very, very fluffy. A lot of people like the MAC 224, which is this one. And they are similar. I don't know, I just really prefer the Smashbox one to the MAC one for some reason. And the other brush that I like a lot, and I'm just going to mention it, you can't go buy this, but in case you have these, if you have this stuck away, I got Glam Bag for a very short time when it was Glam Bag, and now it's Ipsy. There's no name on this, it just says Glam, and it's a shorter handle, but this is a really nice fluffy crease brush. Great for blending, and it actually is very soft. I really like this. I'm curious about what the other brushes, because I know that after I canceled there were more brushes that came out. And I'm curious if the other ones were as nice as this one, but I really liked that one. Okay, I'm going to show you just a little duo that's nice for some either under your lash line or some kind of more intricate outer V work. And this is a duo from Essence, and I think they still look like this. They might have changed them. I got these, I think I ordered them on Makeup Geek's website back in the day, but I think you can get them at CVS. We don't have those. We don't have a CVS around me, but this is a really nice duo. This is nice to add kind of color into your outer V, and this is perfect for smoking out your lower lash line. So those are kind of a nice little inexpensive kit. A couple of Sigma brushes that I find are also nice for detail work. This is the Sigma E45, and it's a pointed, smaller crease brush. So it looks like that. I like this more so when I am doing friends' makeup that have smaller eyes. This is really nice for placing color in your outer V and into the crease. So I like that. I always take that with me when I'm going to be doing somebody's makeup, which is not often. I'm not a professional. Just so you know. And then the other two that I like, I've talked about this one a bunch, is the Sigma E36. This is a really teeny tiny wispy little brush. It's great for adding, just doing a little bit extra work on the crease if you're wanting to add kind of a pop of color. Or maybe you have a spot that just didn't blend quite as well, maybe because of, you know, the hood on your eye or something like that. Just grab a little more transition color and just go over it lightly with this brush. This great brush. Not indispensable, but great. I really like it. It's one of my favorite brushes. And then the Sigma Shader Crease E47. This is a very different brush. You can see how small it is, and it's pinched here and comes to a little bit of, this is great if you're going to do a cut crease on yourself or somebody else to kind of place that color, or if you want to kind of add some color to deepen things up and then use a you know, like a fluffier brush to kind of blend it out or blow it out. This is a really nice brush for that as well. And then the last brush that I have, I believe this is the pointed crease brush. I'm not positive. This is old Makeup Geek packaging. I don't have any of her new brushes yet, but you can see, I've talked about this before, how there's enough give in here that you can place a shadow with this brush and then also blend it out because there's enough give in it to blend it out. Sometimes brushes that are shorter like this have too much stiffness to them and they won't blend. They'll place but they won't blend, and this one I feel like really does all of those things. So I have a feeling this might have been a little bit longer, but brushes for me I love, and I have lots of favorites for eye brushes. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will link everything that I've talked about below for you as well if I can find links for them. I apologize in advance if the couple of Smashbox ones aren't available anymore. I sometimes like to talk about things in case you see them in a blog sale. So on my face today I have the Lingerie Depot BB Cream, and over the top of that, just lightly dusted, I have the IT Cosmetics Illumination Celebration Foundation. On my cheeks today I have the Avon blush in Antique Rose number E34. I've started playing with the Avon products that I have now to do a review on those for you guys. On my lids I have the Camp Cosmetics Shadow in Countdown. I actually used the blush in Mahogany as my crease color. As my outer V, I have Conviction, just a beautiful matte brown. And then on my brow bone, I have Fresh with a really fluffy brush. And then inner corner, I have Robovamp. On my lips today, I have Spice lip liner from MAC. And I have the Kinda Sexy lipstick that I just got, and trying to think about it, but what really makes this lip combo I think pretty is the Camp Cosmetics, I think these are called Lava somethings, and this is in Tryst. It's really, really pretty. Alright, I think that covers it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!